The footsteps started down the stairs at the far end of the lobby, descending from above. JC gestured quickly for everyone to spread out at the foot of the stairs, blocking them off. He and Kim got there first, peering eagerly up the stairs, but there was no one to be seen yet. Melody reluctantly got up from her computer and moved across to join them. Happy stood behind her, not quite hiding. At the moment when whoever was making them would have had to come round the corner at the top of the stairs and reveal themselves, JC and the others waited, tense and ready for anything. But there was nothing to hear, nothing to see. JC ran forward and sprinted up the stairs to look around the corner. But there was no one there. No sign there had ever been anyone there. They all looked round sharply, and JC led the way as they raced over to the other side of the lobby to the single elevator. The down arrow above the door was lit, and the row of numbers showed that the elevator was descending from the 3rd floor. The laboratories.
Spread out.
Happy moved to not quite hide behind Melody again, and she grabbed his arm and hauled him out beside her. They all watched the numbers descend, tantalizingly slowly. There was no one inside. The elevator was completely empty. Happy looked away. A uniformed police officer appeared out of nowhere, right in the middle of the lobby. The police officer stood perfectly still, unnaturally still, and stared at them all with unblinking, unwavering eyes. His uniform was perfect, not even the smallest tear or blood stain. Nothing to show how he had died. But none of them doubted for a moment that he was dead. They only had to look at his face.
Just an ordinary police officer, a bobby on the beat. Should never have been sent into a place like this. He never stood a chance.
He's not breathing, not even showing the smallest of involuntary movements. His face is empty, nobody home. And look at his eyes. He sees us, but not in a human way. Whatever's watching us through those eyes isn't in any way human.
A second policeman appeared, as though forced into existence by an effort of will. Again, quite definitely dead. To look at him was to know it on an instinctive level. The 2 dead men stood utterly still in the center of the lobby. The temperature was dropping even further. No steam from the dead men's faces, no frost in the lobby, no ice, only the deep, deep cold. The security men appeared next, snapping into existence one after the other, all across the lobby. Slamming in without warning, tall uniformed men in heavy flak jackets, all of them carrying guns. But the arms hung limply at their sides, as unmoving as any other part of them, gun barrels pointing at the floor. They simply stood and stared, as though they were waiting for the right moment to do something horrible.
Look at the plants. Look at the potted plants.
The half-dozen potted plants, which had been standing tall and proud when JC first led the way in, were now shriveling up and withering away. Rot and corruption set in, and curled-up leaves fell listlessly to the floor. Something had sucked the life right out of them to maintain the dead men's presence. The quality of light in the lobby had changed too. The fierce fluorescent light now seemed strained, weakened, even infected. One of the policemen took a single step forward, his muscles stiff and awkward. Then one of the security men. And then all the dead men were advancing on JC and his team from every direction at once, one slow step at a time. Their faces didn't change, their eyes didn't move, but there was still an awful, inexorable purpose about them.
Stand together, back to back.
JC and Kim moved together, as did Happy and Melody. Close enough that no one could get between them, but not so much that they'd get in each other's way if push came to violent action. JC was grinning broadly. He was always happiest on a case when things started to happen. It meant the waiting was over and the mission was finally underway. JC did so love to get his hands dirty and get stuck into things. Melody had produced her machine pistol again and was waving it steadily back and forth to cover the approaching dead men. Happy stood his ground, if only because all the ways to the exits were blocked. In his own way, he too was happiest when things started kicking off, because at least then he knew where the danger was. The security men still had their arms at their sides, the gun barrels pointing towards the floor. But the sense of menace and danger was even stronger.
Who are you? What do you want? Do you remember what happened to you here? Do you remember who you are? Kim, can you read them? Can you tell me anything about them?
There's nothing there to read.
I'm not picking up anything either. It's like there's nothing there except there is.
They're shells. Just shells. They're dead. They're some kind of ghost, but they're not surviving personalities like me. They're what's left after all the life and all the energy I've been sucked right out. Something really bad has happened to these people because they're not people anymore. Something else is watching us, JC, through their dead eyes.
Do they have any actual physical presence? Can they hurt us?
I don't know. I've never seen anything like them before. They're what's left when you take the people out of people.
Terrific. All right, we do it the hard way then.